Hello and welcome to another lesson from the IELTScoach.com. In today's lesson, I am going to show you and explain to you 5 idioms that can be used in the IELTS speaking exam. So I will show the 5 idioms and explain what they mean, give the meaning. Then on the next screen, I will give an example of each of those idioms, show you examples within sentences. Now, when it comes to learning idioms, it can be quite challenging and it's quite difficult to use idioms naturally. Don't give an idiom because you have to give an idiom. Use it because it's a natural part of speech. You need to be comfortable with it. And the pronunciation and the way you say the idiom is also important. It needs to sound natural, not mechanical or rehearsed. So be very careful when using idioms and don't use a lot of them. Okay, don't put 10 idioms in part one speaking response. Okay, or even 2 idioms in one response. Use 1 idiom if it's appropriate, if it comes across as natural. So the idioms I am going to show you, learn them, understand them, try and use them as you speak with your friends or classmates. Okay, try and use them naturally. Then when it does come time to the exam, you may use them without even thinking about it. And that's what we want to achieve, that natural use of idioms, not the rehearsed mechanical use. So let's have a look at our 5 idioms for today. And the first one is like chalk and cheese. If 2 people are like chalk and cheese, it means they are the opposite. They don't have many things in common. They are very different from each other. Another one talking about people, but this is people who are very similar to each other. They are like 2 peas in a pod. So they are similar, they do the same things, they like the same things. And we will see examples for these on the next screen. The third idiom for today is down to earth. Down to earth is to describe someone who is very easy to talk to, easy to get along with, makes friends easily. Okay, he is not arrogant, he is not stuck up, they are not overconfident, they are very down to earth and very easy to get along with. The next one, off the top of my head. If I say something or think of something off the top of my head, it's without giving it much thought. The first thing that comes to me is off the top of my head. And the last idiom for today, to be on the fence. To be on the fence means you are not committed to one idea or another. You think there are good things and bad things about a situation. You haven't made a decision, you haven't made a commitment, you are still deciding, so you are on the fence. So now let's look at these idioms used for real IELTS questions and in real IELTS answers. So let's have a look for a part 1 question. Do you have any siblings? So questions about family. And here is the response. Yes, I have an older brother. He is married and works as an accountant in an advertising company. We are like chalk and cheese. He is active, confident, and outgoing, while I am the opposite. So chalk and cheese meaning the opposite of somebody else. Okay, so there is vocabulary specific to that topic. There are 2 sentences for that answer, good grammar and vocabulary structure, as well as an idiom that is used naturally. The next question is also a part 1 question. Who are you closest to in your family? And to describe that you're close to someone, the idiom 2 peas in a pod is a good way to do that. So the natural response at the beginning, oh, that is an easy question. I am closest to my cousin Paul. We are like 2 peas in a pod. When we were younger, we did everything together and we are still very similar. Okay, 2 peas in a pod, 2 people who are similar and who get on very well. The next one is one more part 1 question. Can you describe your best friend? Sure thing. My best friend is John and we studied at university together. John is very down to earth and gets along with everybody. He is also quite ambitious. So using that very down to earth to show that he is friendly and easy to talk to. Now we'll move on to some part 3 questions where we can use the last 2 idioms. Why do you think people choose to study overseas? So asking about your opinion of something, or to speculate about other people's opinions. And I'm not really sure. Off the top of my head, I would say that it may be to gain new experiences or study in a country with higher standards than their own. Then you would continue with the answer. Obviously, part 3, we want more developed answers. But at the beginning there, to show that you're unsure of your opinion or other people's opinions, off the top of my head is an interesting expression to use. And notice how I say it. I don't say it with confidence because I'm not sure about it. It's the first thing I'm thinking of. So I'm not so confident about it. I'm not sure. Off the top of my head, I would say maybe. So sound unsure when you give this idiom. And the last idiom to practice, also for part 3, do you think globalization is generally good or bad? I am on the fence. So again, the way I give that idiom, I'm not 100% certain, so I don't sound confident. I sounded a little bit unsure of myself. I am on the fence about this. On the one hand, globalization has benefits, and then you would obviously continue developing and explaining your response. So I hope seeing those idioms in use, seeing those idioms in sentences and hearing them expressed, okay, can help you. Remember, using idioms does take a lot of time and it can be quite challenging. Understand the idiom first. Try to use them in your everyday conversation. The more you do it, the more natural they will become. And listen when other people use idioms and try to use those as well. But don't overdo it. You don't want idioms in every single sentence that you say. That would be very unnatural. So I hope this has helped you. Please watch this video again to review and practice those idioms. And please watch another video on the YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can get the latest updates of all my video lessons. And please share this channel with your friends so we can build a big community of people learning through IELTS video lessons. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.